everything that you understand about factorizing comes from understanding expanding, because they're the same process looked at from two different sides. Okay, so if you're good at expanding, you'll be good at factorizing and vice versa. So let's have a look at this one for starters. It's trickier because I'm throwing a negative in there. Okay, so just to help you out a little bit, it's -5 at the front. It gets distributed to both, right? So what pair of terms will I have on the right-hand side? For starters, -5x. And then the -5 goes to the 3 as well. So -5 times 3 is, yeah, that's right, -15. Okay, so just pause before we leave off that. Now, if you saw this as the question, right? And the question was, instead of expand, take this, which is already expanded, and factorize it, right? You would say, oh, look, I see a minus on both of them, right? So I can take out a minus, and I see that these are both multiples of 5. 5's the highest common factor. So I do that, right? And now I'll divide each of these terms by -5. When you divide this by -5, you're just left with an x, right? An x. And when I divide this by -5, you have the +3, which is what we started with. So far, so good. Let's expand this out, and then we will have a look at the factorization. Okay? It's going to distribute across, right? So -4 times x gives me -4x. Okay. Now here I've got a double negative, right? Now we have learnt double negatives, they cancel each other out, right? So I should have plus 20. Now this is something that some of us are getting, but it's still a bit confusing. So I want to go at this point before we look at the factorization. You draw this in a second. This is called a product table. I haven't filled it in yet. Okay. The simple idea is for each column and each row, just take those numbers and multiply them together and see what you get. That's the product, okay? So some of these are easier than others. For instance, let's have a go here. 1, so that's this column, times 1. 1 times 1 is? 1, right? 1 times 2 is 2. 1 times 3 is 3. That's all fine, right? I can do the same thing here. This is 1 times 2, which is 2. 1 times 3, which is 3. Okay, you're starting to get some patterns, right? There's some easy bits over there. How about this one here? What's that? 4. That's 2 times 2, which is 4. This is 2 times 3,
6.
which is 6. Okay, next one over.
6.
2 times 3 is 6.
9.
3 times 3. Okay, so stop before we do the last one. You can see going up here I have multiples of 1. Going up here I have multiples of 2. So far so good. Multiples of 3, which means multiples of 4. Okay, good. So I've done this part here. Now let's have a look at these parts I've put in black. I wonder if you can see why I put them in black. Right? Jordan, what pattern do you see?
They all equal 0.
They're all equal to 0 because this is 0 times something, it's 0. 0 times something else, still 0. Everything here will be a 0, right? And in the same way, this row in the middle, it's 0 times something, 0 times something, blah, 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 blah. Okay, and here's where the pattern starts to get interesting, right? This is obvious. This is just positive numbers and positive numbers, okay? But to make sure we understand what's going on in the rest of the spaces here, let's just follow the pattern, okay? 3 to 2, 2 to 1, 1 to 0. I'm counting down, aren't I? I'm taking away 1 every time. So if I keep taking away 1, then here, I should have -1, right? And then I'll keep going, 2 to 2. And then I'll keep going, -3. Now here, as I go down, I'm taking away 2 each time. So this will be -2, -4. Okay, you're starting to get the idea. I can do this one. 3, 6, 9, -4, 8. Okay, excellent. Right. Shh. Now, it just so happens, and you can fill this out, everything over here is going to get copied over to here. Okay? I'm still subtracting 1 as I go from right to left. So this will be -1, -2, -3, -4. Okay, I'm not going to bother with the rest up here because you can see what's going on. The most interesting thing, and the thing to do with this, is what happens over here. Okay, watch. Be careful. -4, -3, -2, -1, 0. From right to left, what am I doing each time? I'm adding 1, aren't I? Right? Minus 4 plus 1 will give you minus 3. Minus 3 plus 1 will give you minus 2. I add 1, I add 1. So what's here? 1. And then I add 1 again. 2. And then I add 1 again. And I can keep going, can't I? Here, I'm not adding 1, I'm adding 2 each time. 2, 4, 6, 8. Last one.
3, 6, 9, 12.
Very good. Okay. So now, this is why this is so beneficial. You all showed me what to do. Everyone nailed the pattern. It's a really easy pattern. But it shows you, for instance, minus 2 times minus 3, 2 negatives multiply to give you a positive, right? That's why we had a plus 20 here. A lot of you said minus 20, but it's not. 2 negatives, these are all negative, and these are all negative. They're all positive down here, okay? So now, if I take this question and I go in reverse, just like before, and I say, take this and factorize, okay? You can see there's a minus 4 there, right? There's no minus sign there, but I can still divide by a negative number, so I'll put a minus 4 out the front, okay? When I divide this by minus 4, what do I get left with? Just x, right? Now when I divide this by minus 4, yeah, which we saw before, that's where we started, right? These 2 negatives will become that positive, okay? This is the piece you need for exercise 312, right? It's chock full of negatives, okay? So you're gonna watch out for them, that these double negatives don't trip you up. The easiest way to test is to take what you think is the factorization. If you think this is the factorization, and then expand it. Go the other way and see, test out if it works. And if you pick the signs correctly, then it will check out. Okay?